These are the VRS Direct Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the IRWC presents the Rod Knock Cup for round 9 of season 1 here this evening. I'm your commentator tonight, Hamish Munro, bringing you all the action through sight and sound right here on the Infinity Broadcasting channel as we go racing for 80 laps of Echo Park here in Atlanta for what is bound to be an incredible showing of racing action here this evening. As we come into tonight's race, it is a close 4-horse race at the top end of the championship. 8 points separates the top 3, and a total of 16 points separates the top 4. When we look at the top 5, they are separated by 32 points at the moment, and with only 2 races to go, it's a little bit too far gone for Johnny Rowe back there in P5. Chris Tomlin currently leads the way, 288 points at this stage of the season. Jack Anderson, Kurt Chapman, equal on 280 points in equal second place. David Lawler in P4 on 272. Johnny Rowe, P5, 256. Jordan Ferguson, Ash DeVries, equal on points for P6 on 233 apiece. Aaron Smith, now in P8 of the championship on 206 points. Drew Halloran, 1 point ahead of Gravy Taskin on 172. Chris Blanchard, Steve Daniels for the top 12. And Daniel Harding, Kyle Gretsch, Scott Rankin, all ahead of Jack Michelson, who won last week's race out at Phoenix International Raceway. He's back again this week, so he should gain some positions in the championship. Luke Crum, Troy Stonestreet, Jaden Green, Billy Merle, Blake Allboys, Mark Howard, James Boardman, and Aaron Cooper at the back end of the title race at this stage. For next season, well, we announced our calendar amongst the community and on Facebook as well. And for your beautiful eyes, next season we go racing for 10 rounds once again from the 19th of September till the 21st of November. We go racing at some proper oval circuits and some proper homes of NASCAR racing as we go next gen running next season. By goes the ARCA cars, and in comes the next gens as we go racing to start out the season at the track we're at tonight, Echo Park. 80 laps once again in round 1. Homestead, Miami next season for round 2 for 69 nice laps of Homestead. Bristol Dirt Circuit for 155 laps in round 3. Pocono for round 4 for 50 laps. Chicagoland in round 5 for 80 laps. Texas Motor Speedway round 6 for 78 laps. Then we head over to Chicago Street Circuit, made famously to Australian and New Zealand fans for Shane Van Gisbergen's first Cup Series win a couple of years ago. So that's round 7 for 30 laps. Nashville Super Speedway round 8 for 84 laps. 35 laps of Sonoma Road Course as well in round 9. 35 laps there, and then we end it all out at Talladega for 50 laps here thus far, or for next season at the very least. Warm-up session is underway as drivers have just started to head out there and get themselves prepared for the 80 laps of Echo Park here this evening. Plenty of cars on track tonight, including a debut for Bucket Brannon from the US of A. He's got a lot of experience in oval racing, a lot of experience in stock cars as well. A wealth of experience he is sharing with the drivers out there, so he's trying to raise the game of the rest of the field as well as himself by getting up so early in the morning for him to come racing with us. So we look forward to seeing how he does. To give you the rundown on how people are driving this week, well, Jack Anderson, well, unfortunately for him, Stanley DeWalt Racing only had 1 car available for the final 3 rounds of the season. After it was destroyed last week at Phoenix by Gravy Taskin, they could no longer field him. So this week he's having to rent a car from the series organisers to even go racing and try and win this championship here this evening. Gus Ferguson is out there in his Los Pollos Hermanos / Saul Goodman Associates livery as well, hailing from Albuquerque, New Mexico tonight and racing by way of Chile. He's currently running around. Gravy Taskin's out there just behind him, is on that Castrol entry. We'll see how he does throughout the proceedings here tonight, as is the upper decker master himself and the Zen machine. Ash DeVries on the road, Aaron Smith as well. Unfortunately, he's only got 2 races left with us here in the IRWC before he takes a break from racing for a little while. We hope to see him back in a couple of seasons' time, and it's sad to see him go at the end of this season, but he's been a big contributor to the league, been around ever since the start, and has been just trying to get better and better week in and week out, and he really has been, has Aaron Smith. Chop Tomlin's back out there as well, of course. He's trying to defend that lead of the championship In the pit lane right now, we've of course got last week's winner, Giraffe Michelson, as well as Grimace McRow. You'll see why he's got that name this week. And the Lone Shark, Mark Howard, returns as well. The Project 36 boys are out there too. Kurt Chapman, David Lawler. These guys are a part of the championship battle at the moment. Both of them in the top 4. Both of them within the championship hunt across the last 2 rounds. But there are some X factors here tonight, which could have some parts to play in how it all goes for them across the final 2 rounds. The X factors being, of course, Bucket Brannon, who's got pace in his first race here tonight. He overslept last week, missed out on racing at last week's event at Phoenix. He's here tonight, though, at Atlanta. We've also obviously got the Giraffe in Giraffe Michelson. He's an X factor. The Lone Shark, Mark Howard, and who knows which receipts he's going to be cashing in this week and how that could affect the championship as well. A couple of comments out there already. Dill's in the chat as well. The best commentator, Big Hamish. Great to have you out there, Dylan, watching along. Jack Hora giving the love to the Gravy. Oh, Gravy. Gravy Train, Gravy Taskin in the field tonight. He's giving the love to him and around, and there as well. Nigel Ferguson should really be credited for those points. There's been many, we'll call it, identities that Jordan Ferguson has claimed this season. Of course, Nigel Ferguson, Nick Ferguson, Alexander Ferguson, Jeff Ferguson, Doge Ferguson, and now Gus Ferguson as well. So some might claim he may have DID, racing with that many personas on track, but he has been having fun with it this season. 40 seconds left in the warm-up session before we go running for 80 laps here of Echo Park. And we're going to be in for a twilight race tonight, so the sun will set as we get going and we'll end it under lights here at Atlanta. Should be a wild ride, to say the least. Jai Schultz in the chat as well. Go Chop, giving the love to the championship leader in Chop Tomlin. 8 points adrift at the moment of Jack Anderson and Kurt Chapman this season. 16 points ahead of David Lawler. But with 12 cars on the road tonight, there is opportunity for him to either drop big points to those drivers or gain big points over them if they have a poor race and he comes out on top. Plenty to play for at the end of this season. It is not over until the Fat Lady sings. And with a free entry into the next season of either the VRS Porsche Cup Series or the IRWC GTE Sports Car Championship as well, it's all to play for. And it is anyone's game as well. Rhiannon saying, wait, you're telling me this whole time they've been the one person? Well, you know, the big businesses that own the teams would like you to think that they're different people, but they're all the same person. It is all one person driving that number 21 car this whole season. As we get going, though, and as the drivers start to grid up, our starting grid for tonight will be as follows. Jack Anderson, well, best possible way he could hope to try and challenge for this championship in the final 2 rounds. He starts pole position tonight at Atlanta, and David Lawler, Chop Tomlin, and Kurt Chapman. The top 4 in the championship, all in the top 4 on the grid. They'll start ahead of Bucket Brannon and Ash DeVries for our top 6, with Giraffe Michelson, Grimace McRow, ahead of the Lone Shark Mark Howard, as well as Gus Ferguson, and then Gravy Taskin and Aaron Smith makes up the 12-car grid here this evening. The pace car will get us warmed up here out at Echo Park this evening. It's twilight action as the twilight comes towards the end of the season and we head towards a new moon, which we will birth a new champion at the end of next week's race out at Daytona. The question is, who will be raising the cup? Who will be raising the Rodknock Cup for the first time? And who will be our champion to get the free entry into the Porsche Cup Series next season? Will it be Anderson? Will it be Lawler, Tomlin, or Chapman? Will they all have an absolute mare the next 2 weeks, and can Grimace McRow somehow sneak himself into championship glory? Only time will tell, and the clock is striking midnight on this championship. So there's only so much time left for these drivers to gain points. We've already crowned one champion this season in the IRWC, of course, Sam Muir, locking out the VRS Porsche Cup Series Championship at the final round of the season this past Monday night at Belle Isle. If you missed that one, myself and Britton O'Brien in the booth, you want to go back and watch it after tonight's Rodknock Cup race. It was an absolute doozy out at Belle Isle. And with 2 rounds to go of this season, including tonight, 9th round tonight, 10th round next week, it's anyone's game. It is all to play for here in the Rodknock Cup. The pace car will roll into pit lane. Anderson on board the ARCA Menards entry will get control of the field. He'll take us to the start zone. And Echo Park is underway, way as we go. Green flag running in Atlanta. Oh, bit of sideways action there as into it was Kurt Chapman off the road. Caution has been thrown already. We haven't even survived the full lap and there's been a caution thrown. Thanks to some early contact with Kurt Chapman. I'm unsure who made the initial contact with him. But this was as he went down the straight. It was Chop Tomlin on his inside. Bit of contact made. Off the road he goes, and to the very back of the field goes the 916 of Kurt Chapman. A big moment to start out this race tonight now. Plenty of time for him to get back into it, of course. It's only lap 1. Let's watch this again. So, in fact, there was actually a little bump from the 6 car of Brannon. Got him a little bit loose. That's then caused him to go around and off the track. An unfortunate incident there. And he'll have some work to do to get back into this one. But at the back of the field now is Chapman. Plenty of time there to get back into the swing of things. Lap 2 of 80. We'll go on to lap 3. By the time we get underway again after this pace car, probably be around about lap 4 or 5 in this race, as Grimace McRose coming into pit lane. So an early stop for him, looking to take some fuel and tyres as he comes down towards the pit box. And I must say that car is nightmare fuel, if ever I've seen it, to be honest with you. You could say to me that this car caused that stack because Kurt Chapman drank a Grimace shake. I would believe you. Pulls up into the box. There it is. Car gets fixed up. You see Chapman in behind him. Getting ready to go racing once again as he gets back and out and underway. So pace car will be out there for at least another lap. Probably be lap 5, as I said, that we get underway once again here at Echo Park. Plenty of racing still to come, though, throughout the night. Early caution here. We went pretty well last week at Phoenix. I think we only had 3 or 4 cautions last week. Dager, we only had 2. So we've been in pretty good nick the last few weeks. Pretty good stead, it must be said. So we'll see when the lights go out and which lap we go green on. As I said, I think it will be lap 5 based on the previous caution periods we've had this season. Now, obviously, early pit stop for the 596 and the 916. So those guys taking a bit of an offset strategy. The 916 probably trying to fix up the car as well. Their strategy is now going to be offset a little bit. Will it give them any advantage later in the race? Only time will tell. They're going to have to keep it clean. And maybe hope the rest of the field just has some poor running. That's how it could really work out well for them here across this race, as they've just met to the back of the field. So I would say it'll be green flag running at the end of the next lap as the pace car across the line. Lights go out. They'll go 2 wide for the restart. And we will get prepared to get running once again here at Atlanta. Let's see if we last longer than 1 lap this time by off the pace car restart. So as we get back underway, it actually looks like it's going to be a single file restart since the caution came out on our first green lap of the race. Now, normally what the motive is, if the race has started, or say we've had a restart and we haven't lasted a full green lap, it will automatically give us a single file restart to hopefully get away nice and clean. So it'll be single file. Don't be surprised if in future cautions, if we get a long green period, we actually go double file, because that is the normal restart procedure when you've had a few laps in between the caution periods. So this is a bit of an offset one now between these cautions to get us underway and hopefully give us some nice clean running to the end. Important points to remember. Top 3 in this race at the moment are the top 3, or 3 of the top 4, I should say, in the championship. The other one, Kurt Chapman, he was involved in that lap 1 incident. He's now at the back of the field. He's still in this race. He's still within a chance. He's got 76 laps to make it to the end. and make it to the front of the field. Green flag flies out Atlanta, and we get back underway, and the scramble begins early as we head up towards the tri-oval and up towards turn 1. Who is going to reap the benefits of tonight? Who is going to reap the rewards of Atlanta that offers it to them? Draft Michelson already trying to draft away on the side of Bucket Brannon's car. Ash DeVries trying to give him a bit of bump draft action as well. Which favour is Chop going to give to the front of the field? Will it be Anderson or will it be Lawler? You'd think, smart decision here, you'd give it to Lawler. He's further back on points. But you see Chapman, he's already back up there. Fresh fuel on board that car. And it's a big scramble at the front of the field as drivers just try to survive. Michelson with a run. Outside line, it's 3 wide through turn 1. 3 wide action. Chapman's got loose. And into the ball goes Chapman. And he is collected by Gravy Tuscan. It's another caution. And that there was a massive snap steer moment. Let's see what happened. It was another knock from the 6 car. 2 cautions in a row has been caused by the 6 of Bucket Brannon. Let's watch this back again. So he's up there, he's running around, and then bang, straight over. And into the wall. Tuscan nowhere to go, sits in his lap as he makes contact. Wowee. That there is a massive, massive moment in this race. Let's try and look a little bit further back here. See how this played out. So running a little bit high. Oh, it's just the slightest bit of net code. Slightest bit of net code off the 6 car causes the contact, and around goes the 916 as Tuscan, McRow and Chapman are all back in pit lane. Smith's in, Ferguson's in as well. So those cars with some big damage are all in pit road. You see there, Smith was caught up. He kept it clean. Oh my God, look at the damage on the front of Chapman and Tuscan, and I believe Grimace McRow's cars. And Tuscan, in fact, has actually missed the pit box. He's trying to back it all the way back there. This is going to cost him big, big time. I mean, get that car back into the pit box. Would have been better off towing. You see there the Grimace entry in as well. Mammoth amount of damage. That's going to be a lot of cleanup for the marshals. A lot of work for the marshals to clean all that up. Let's get a word before we go green again from our race leader and just get his perspective. Mr. Anderson, just to cut you off very swiftly, and I wait for your intro song to finish. Big cautions at the start of this race. It appeared there that second caution from Bailey was a bit of net code from him. Did he give you any context into that? Because obviously you guys are in the room together. Any words from him that he was contexting to you?
Oh, well, I know that he didn't mean it, but that's about as much context as I got.
Well, it didn't look like he meant it. It was definite net code on the second incident. That restart, though, on the last restart, you came around, you started to get swamped before that incident happened. How tightly congested was your lower end off that restart, seeing how many cars were starting to swamp you on the next time round?
Sorry, I've got Lawler talking to me as well in game chat. Yeah, I'm just taking it lap by lap, raw dogging it as always, and just trying to see if I can stay out of all the chaos that's happening behind.
Oh, you got to try and do that as best you can. We'll let you go and concentrate on what they're saying to you in the game chat. Lights out on the pace car. Best of luck on the restart.
Thanks, mate.
Restart procedure about to get underway once again here. We look to go green on lap 10 of 80, an eighth of the way through this race. We've already had 2 cautions. That tells me that we're going to be on for 16 across the portion of the night, but I've been proven wrong before, and sometimes the statistics, I should say, don't always add up. And we can get long green running in some of these races as well. All cars back on the road at this stage. Chapman, Tuscan, McRow all a lap down on the race leader as well at this point in time. They will have an opportunity to get past once again. If there's any carnage, we get more safety cars. They get a lucky dog rule, and they get to just sneak on by later on in proceedings as well. Green flag, though, is about to go once again. It's a single file restart once again here because of the nature of the incidents that have been happening. We're trying to clean up the start of this race and get some good, long green running here at Atlanta. What a wicked start, though, it's been. What a wicked start it has been from these drivers. Green flag's about to fly at Echo Park. We enter up towards the restart zone. And the race leader in the 39 ARCA Menards entry for Jack Anderson will get us underway. And we're racing again in Atlanta. Who is going to win the scramble and get themselves in a prominent racing position? As we enter turn 3, you can see already scrambling in behind. 3, 4 wide, bit of a knock-on effect to the 26 of Michelson, who drops now out of that battle pack. Tomlin's made some big gains up to the race leader. It's similar scenario and similar images to what we saw on the last restart. As the scramble starts to form around turn 1, 2 we go again. Can we survive this time by? We've managed to make it through unscathed. Aaron Smith back in pit lane again. Unsure as to why, as the two-line astern action begins, and who will Anderson try and favour? Will it be the 6 car of Brannan, or will it be his championship rival in the 212 of Tomlin that he gives the toe to? You can see him behind. Bit of movement happening already here from, I believe that's David Lawler, trying to make moves on the race leaders just to try and find an angle through. It's two wide action stuff from P2 and 3 back. The race leader on his lonesome as they get past Aaron Smith, the lap traffic, who's exiting pit road now. And we continue to run 2 wide around Echo Park. It is incredible stuff when it comes together. It's like a perfect puzzle. You put the final piece in, you get the complete image of how it all has come to be. And it is a beautiful sight to see cars racing like this at such high speeds around this course. Looking at the dashboard, Brandon at the moment in technically P2/P3, about 280 kilometres an hour up towards 290, nearly 300 as they enter towards turn 3. We'll look at Tomlin's pace discrepancy in the toe in behind Anderson at the moment to see what he looks like in towards turn 1. But it's full throttle, full gas, full pelt, trying to get these cars as fast as possible. Round about 289 in towards turn 1 there for Tomlin. We'll see what the speed was in towards turn 3. Brannan now losing a bit of momentum, has to drop back into P5. That's allowed De Vries and the Giraffe Michelson. Oh, sorry, Giraffe Michelson's a bit further back. That's the lap traffic of Chapman, who's up there amongst this battle pack as well. He's trying to get his lap back. So Tomlin holding a good pace at the moment, around about 280 k's an hour as he sits in that toe behind Anderson in the 39 car. But look at how close the racing is. Look how close the action is as well, as Michelson and McRow battle away for P5 on the road. Lawler's in there too, of course. Oh, that's big contact though, and it's Chapman again. Chapman, for the 3rd time in this race, has been wrecked and started all 3 cautions. How has it happened this time by? Oh, it looked like there was a bit more at play then. There was a little bit more at play. That looked like, yeah, you see there, bit of contact with De Vries. He goes offline, back onto the road. Brandon tries to take evasive action, and then there's contact again with the 916. Those 2 cars cannot stay away from each other tonight, it seems. And you see there the evasive action. Michelson got caught up in it as well. Big implications for this race. Multiple cars in the pit lane, including Lawler, who's come in possibly for a tactical. Ferguson's in as well. He caught damage. Grimace McRose stayed out there. Chapman and Taskin are in. Michelson's been through pit road. In fact, he's coming through pit road now. It's happened multiple times in this race from the 6 car. Just getting caught up in some dramas, it seems. Let's have a word with him and just see what's happened there. Bailey, that's 3 times you've made contact with the 916. Are you going to hit him any more times in this race, or?
Maybe. Oh, damn it, I got a penalty because I was speeding. Anyways, I thought I was good where I was on the bottom, but I guess they didn't. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I really don't.
Well, how it's looked like every incident that's happened now, and I know the second one was net code, so there wasn't much really you can say about it. But all three of them have been you've ridden up high, and as you've gone up high, you've kind of clipped his rear end. So maybe
Whose rear end did I clip?
The 916 of Chapman. You've clipped him 3 times now to bring out all 3 cautions.
Oh, well, I mean, the first time, I didn't even see that I touched him, but I probably did. I got the 4X for it. I was confused, and then the next time I don't even remember. Hamish, it's too early for me.
I know it's too early for you. Maybe worth sending him in a couple of apologies and maybe a couple of buckets from you as well. But you're still on the lead.
I'll send him a baseball from my bucket.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Then, and
yeah.
you know, but yeah, I know that all 3, you know, you haven't been meaning to make contact like that. But yeah, the way that I've looked at it, just in case you weren't aware, it is literally been you've ridden up high, and as you've come up high, he's right there, and you've clipped his rear, and around he's gone. So, you know. Single screen issues, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
It probably is, yeah. This is what happens when you race on a bucket and a desk that just sits in the corner of a room, okay?
All right, I'll let you get prepared.
We're operating on a low budget here.
I'll let you get prepped for the restart. Best of luck for the rest of this race. Let's try and keep it away from the 916, shall we?
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to ride back here for a bit.
Very good. All right, best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, he was unaware of how he clipped him, but now he is aware. So hopefully that means now those guys are going to be able to just keep on driving, keep on having a crack together as well. He's a good guy. He's a fun guy. He likes to have a laugh. So hopefully those guys can move past those incidents that have happened and get into some really, really good racing, because he's normally been quite good in other leagues that we've seen him in. So hopefully this doesn't continue to be an issue tonight on track. It'll be the first 2-wide restart we've had since the start of this race, since we had such a long green period there. So it'll be 2 wide for the restart. Anderson, Tomlin, the front 2 spots. De Vries, the Lone Shark, and then Lawler and Michelson in behind them. Restart zone is engaged. And Anderson gets us back underway in Atlanta for once again lap 19 of 80. We're nearly a quarter of the way there for tonight's proceedings. 3 cautions thus far. How many more can we get as the top 3 get into their line? As De Vries has now gained over Tomlin off this restart. Anderson continues on, and it's a massive stack in the background. That there was the 24 of Taskin into the wall. A massive, massive incident off this restart has seen Gravy Taskin go straight into the barrier. We need to watch this back from the green flag, I think, because this will give us the telltale signs of how this has happened. So Taskin's gotten underway. And so as they've come round turn 1, 2, has there been any contact made? Or has he done this all on his lonesome? He had the 916 of Chapman in behind him. And then there was the 2.6 of Michelson as well. As they got going. Oh, there was. I think there was just the... Yeah, there was just the smallest bit of contact. If we go here. The 916 goes on the inside. That's a shrinking gap. Tries to bang it up the inside of the 24. 24 gets knocked and straight into the oncoming traffic of the 136 of Lawler. A massive incident. Taskin, his car has now been destroyed. Anderson and De Vries are in. So 2 of the race leaders have come into pit lane, possibly for a tactical stop here for a bit of fuel. No tyres for them, just a fuel stop. Ferguson's in again. He's actually been in for a fair while, so I'd say his night is done and dusted on board that car. And Tomlin is up the front now with Michelson, who's taken a stop and he's taken fresh tyres. Lone Shark Mark Howard needs a stop. Everyone else has come in. So Tomlin and Howard are the only two cars yet to come down pit road. How could this strategy play out for them? Dylan asked in the chat, are we going to get some racing or just yellow flags? Well, we had a good sort of 5 or 6 laps there of racing for a period, and now we've had 2 cautions in a row. Hopefully, Dylan, we get some good green running across the next portion of this race. That's what I hope for. If you are watching along with us here tonight for the first time, or you've been here for a while, be sure to hit that like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on Infinity Broadcasting. Coming up over your weekend, we've got the 9th round of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action for Season 24, Round 9, out at Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli. And that's coming onto your screens this weekend, 200 Ks, as Halil Cesar, Brad Doble and Rob Crisdale continue to battle it out for the Split 2 Championship this season. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth for that one. And then the next time we'll be on your screens, it'll be the final round of the Rod Knock Cup next Friday night out at Daytona, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time next Friday. Tomorrow night's broadcast, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time as we go racing there. So some big racing coming your way before we go on a bit of a break for a few weeks as the league seasons reset and we get back underway once again. Choppy is up to P1. He's doing fantastic. Jack asking for a split gravy on the mic. We'll get him on the mic very soon. He's having to concentrate on getting that car fixed up, Jack, but we will get him on there very, very soon for you as well. Much luck, we will get some green flag running in this race. It'll be a single file restart once again as we will look to get back underway here at Atlanta. I mean, the cautions are kind of echoing themselves now since we're at Echo Park tonight. So it's caution, 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 caution. You know? Of course, it's 80, 80, 80 laps of Echo Park. And we'll, I mean, let's hope. Let's hope we get some good clean running. We'll see how they end up after this next stint, how long they can go for, how long Tomlin and Howard can go for off this restart as well. Those are the only 2 cars yet to pit in this race. Michelson's the highest seeded car to come through pit lane. Green flag at Atlanta once again as we're back underway at Echo Park and the scramble begins for the race lead. Tomlin pulls onto the inside line. I think it might have been a jump start for him. Quite possibly because Michelson and Howard are already gone. They are already gone here up to the front end of town. Tomlin has dropped back to P4. Anderson is now right in behind him. Then it's De Vries, Lawler and Chapman as well. Brannon and Howard up there. Here comes Anderson and De Vries trying to get past the 2-1-2. Unsure of what's happened to him and why he's back there. Chapman's in pit lane. Solid restart. Here off the line, Anderson is on the move. He tucks right in front of the Lone Shark, Mark Howard. But look at the gaggle of cars running around together at this stage. It's really, really great to see Chapman and McRowe both in pits. So we'll see what sort of stop time they have here under green flag running. Oh, but that there is Smith into the wall. This is a caution with the 24 of Taskin. Both cars into the fence. Watch the whole field to possibly come through pit road just to get the benefits. It's a closed pit entry right now. They'll have to wait until they catch the pace car. Top 6 left on the lead lap at this stage. We're past the quarter-way mark. We're going to take this quick opportunity to give thanks to one of our series sponsors, VRS. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All 3 pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Back underway at Echo Park as the pace car will look to come in at the end of this next lap. It'll be a double file restart scenario. I do apologize, I cut myself off a bit early there before that ad break, but Michelson and Brannan will get us underway at the front of the field. Anderson, DeVries in behind them, as well as the Lone Shark, Mark Howard, Chop Tomlin, Kurt Chapman, Grimace McRow, Aaron Smith, David Lawler, Gravy Taskin, and Gus Ferguson back in the field. Once again, Lone Shark, Mark Howard, the only car on the track yet to come through pit lane in this race. So perhaps he's hoping for more and more cautions to get him further and further on this initial tank of fuel. Problem is, the more and more cautions are helping the other cars who have already pit in this one. It's helping drag them forward as well. The lights are beginning to turn on here at Echo Park. The sun is beginning to set and the moon is starting to light up our way forward here tonight at Atlanta. Twilight action here for the penultimate round of the season. One round to go next week. We will crown our first Rod Knock Cup champion. Pace car's going to come in. Michelson, Brannan, front of the field, in control. Who is going to get the jump off the scramble as they head to the restart zone? And we're underway at Atlanta. Green flag once again as Michelson gets us going. Really good restart there from the race leader in the 26 car, but Anderson right on his heels as we cross the start-finish line. Oh, a bit of a bump there on the 26, gives him a little kiss. Lets him know that he's right on his heels as they run in towards turn 1, turn 2. You see the pressure that is mounting on board the 7-Eleven entry at the front of the field. Little bump draft once again from the 39, and they get into their groove in the front as they enter turn 3. As Aaron Smith has had another incident further back in the field, hasn't pulled out the caution just yet, but still green flag running. As we continue on board, DeVries is now up to P3, Tomlin P4, Chapman, Brannan, Howard, the top 7. As they continue racing on forward. Pressure starting to build here on De Vries as Chapman looks for an outside line. And they run around turn 4. And up towards the start-finish line. Bit of biffing and barging, bit of a dooring between them. Scrambling for position of cars in behind. Another one as they run up. Oh, bit of contact with an I-16 and straight into Tomlin and straight into the wall. 2 of the championship contenders make contact, and the return down the field makes contact there. I think that was Gus Ferguson, it was. Mammoth contact, a massive moment in this race and in this championship. 2 of the contenders in the wall. Tomlin's had to tow back. And Lawler, unfortunately, has dropped out of the race. That's so unfortunate, David. You were having such a strong run. A massive, massive moment in this championship. Chapman, McRoe, Tomlin, Smith, all into pit road. Howard has stayed out again. And I think possibly the pit entry may have still been closed when they've all entered, because it is closed. So they've all come in pit lane. They're all about to get an end of line penalty. Howard has remained out there. I feel for you, David. I feel for you. Luckily, I think you got a drop round in hand, so it may not be all over just yet, but solid run to that point. Hopefully, you're able to either fix it up and get back out there, or we see you next week in a solid run to the finish of the season. So cars are now caught up to the train. Let's take this opportunity to chat to the crowd favourite here tonight in Gravy, Taskin. Mr. Taskin, otherwise known as, of course,
Gravy Train.
Welcome in. How's this race been for you? I saw you in a couple of incidents there, namely one that saw you into the wall. Were you at least offered chicken by the pit crew when you came in to fix the car up?
To be honest.
Why not?
I was a little heated about that.
You're a little bit heated. Oh, I'm in the wall and... Oh. Well...
You know, I felt like I was done real dirty on that.
Oh, like a bit of dirty bird.
Oh, like, come get some of my chicken.
Did you have Paul in there rubbing the shoulders, telling you it's all right?
No, he won't be joining us tonight, unfortunately.
Why not? I'm disappointed.
I'd say it's bedtime, really. It's the best way to put it.
Bedtime for Paul Taskin.
Yeah, but shout out to Paul Taskin. Big ups to him, you know. He's just tucked it out and just working hard. And hard while working.
Is his bed the liquor cabinet or what, you know?
Well, I mean, in some cases, yes, but his bed's just caked in victory, you know.
Caked in your possible victory tonight. If you do take the win tonight, will you possibly be running in there and just instantly covering him in a blanket of protein?
Oh, no, unfortunately not, but I'll come give him some of my chicken.
You don't want to share the dream gravy with him?
No, unfortunately, no.
Well, I'll let you take that one back to the boys to let them know what we've just spoken about. Big ups, Paul Taskin.
No worries.
Big ups, Gravy.
I think Anderson would actually take upon that, really.
Oh, I think he'll enjoy that. He'll love a bit of chicken and dream gravy.
Yeah, and he's been doing really well this race as well, so big ups to Anderson too.
Yeah, big ups to Anderson. We'll see if he can actually pull this one out, or if he'll drop it, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
A bad Geelong footballer. Are there even any
That's
bad
all
ones?
good.
I don't know. Oh well. All right. Thanks, Gravy. We'll let you go. Big ups, Jack Horer, who's been requesting you to be on Mike all race. So.
Oh yeah, shout out to Jack Horer then.
Is he the apprentice?
No.
Oh, shame.
I mean, he is an apprentice, but yeah, no, he's a chip.
Big ups the. Oh, he's got a bit of wood for Gravy. Fair enough.
Oh yeah. You know, he wakes up in the morning. That wood, it's all for Gravy. I'm telling you.
Fully treated, ready to go. All right. Best luck on the restart, Gravy.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Just messed with his mind a little bit there for the restart zone. Michelson Anderson, though, front of the field. Double jack attack for the restart here. Lap 36 about to get underway as Atlanta goes green flag once again here at Echo Park. It's a good start from Michelson in the 26. Anderson will hope to go with him. De Vries is up there too, so is Brannan. Then it's the Lone Shark, Mark Howard, Kurt Chapman as well. They're the last cars left on the lead lap at this stage. Grimace McRoe, Chop Tomlin, Gravy Tuscan, Aaron Smith, Gus Ferguson still running. David Lawler, unfortunately out of proceedings after the internet. Had a bit of a drop earlier in the night. It's a real shame for David, but Gravy is still running at the back. So is Aaron, so is Gus, so is Chop, so is Grimace. They'll keep on fighting forward. Horrid restart though for Anderson. Has dropped down the field now to P4. And Michelson's under pressure here from De Vries. And Brannan's up there as well. Top three different manufacturers. Separated by barely a 15th at the moment in the battle for the race lead. They're not going to be taking the race win just yet. We're not even at 50% race distance here tonight at Echo Park. And the lights are already on. And the sun is already down. But who will take in the moonlight and take the advantage into the next portion of this race? Mark Howard, by the way, still out there without taking a pit stop in this one. He has made it to nearly 50% of this race distance without a single pit stop. Incredible effort from him. Battle continues on, though, for the front of the field. Michelson, Brannan, Chapman, De Vries and Anderson fighting away. As Anderson and De Vries, I think De Vries got caught on the outside line there. He's dropped a bit of time to the top four. As they're catching the lap traffic. For the 2-1-2, Chop Tomlin, the championship leader. If he remains where he is, he won't be the championship leader leaving Echo Park this evening. And that will be a big toll on his championship hopes and dreams. Oh, David's saying it's still down, otherwise he'd be back. It's a real shame, David. A real shame. Hopefully, we'll see you back next week at Daytona. Finding a way at the front of the field once again. Lap 39 of 80. We're about to come around and start lap 40 of this race to begin the 50% mark. Maybe a bit of tactics here from Tomlin on the front of Anderson. Michelson, Brannan and Chapman are battling away here. It's right on board with Ando. See what his perspective looks like at this stage of the race. Of course, Tomlin 3 laps down on these leaders. He has got every right to battle along with them, but he doesn't want to hold any of them up in any way. I mean, look at the pace discrepancy. Look at how effective this toe is. As soon as Anderson tries to go for a pass, he cannot get around the 2-1-2. Because the 2-1-2 is just getting dragged forward by that toe, by that train of cars ahead of him. But it could blow up in their faces if they are not careful. Anderson, though, gets a run outside line. Bit of side drafting up through turn 3. He still can't quite etch his way forward, though, as he would like to. And as they come across the line, there you see as well Aaron Smith and Ash De Vries getting involved. What happened to Chop? He got involved in an incident, Giant. He's been in pit lane, so he's currently down 3 spots. He had to tow back to pit lane. That's what happened to Chop. Brannan and Chapman battle away now, though, for P2 on the road. So their fight continues for P2 at this stage of the race. Michelson's not able to run away from them because of the draft. Brannan, though, looks to get an outside edge here on the 2-6 car. Side by side as they go through turn 1. Both of them have got the similar advantage now. He's got to try and get a run if he hopes to take the race lead. And look at them all, nearly 3 wide down the back straight. Michelson's dropped spots. Here comes Anderson and Chapman on the outside line. Brannan took the lead, that then dragged the 916 of Chapman through, and here comes Anderson as well. Getting a bit of bump draft action here from the 292 of De Vries in behind him. Fantastic racing between these guys, trying to keep it nice and close and clean. Here comes Brannan. He wants to get past that 916 if he can get the opportunity to. They made contact earlier in the race a couple of times, but ever since then they've been trying to keep it clean. Brannan into the lead now. Drops onto the low line, takes the lead of the race. And he's just trying to keep that car ahead to the onslaught of cars in behind him. Smith's battling away with these guys, and he's off kilter, as is Tomlin. Smith down 5 laps, Tomlin down 3. The cars we've got to focus on is the 6, 916, 39, 26 and 292. That's the top 5 in this race at the moment. Mark Howard's finally been in pit lane, by the way. Lap 42 he came in. He took tyres and fuel. But you can see they're just easing into their rhythm. Just getting involved in a tightly contested battle, but you know that this could easily blow up in our faces if we're not careful. Anderson and Tomlin 2 wide through 1 and 2, not battling for position. Anderson gaining good points over Tomlin here tonight, as is Chapman up in P2. In fact, right now he may well be the championship leader of the series, and you would have thought, or you wouldn't have thought after the first 3 cautions that'd be the position he'd be in at this stage of the race. He's doing very, very well, but here comes the Camry. The 26 car of Michelson, side draft with the 916 into turn 1. Trying to get the run here. Who does Braden favour? Is it the 2.6 or the 9.16 that he lets follow him along? It's the 2.6 of Michelson to get ahead of Kurt Chapman at this stage. There's the pressure off the back of Michelson's car. That is the Onslaught Battle Pack continuing to chase, continuing to battle. And right ahead of him, well, that's the pressure on Brannon's car. There you see Michelson hot on his heels, following him along, just giving him a little kith every now and then. Fantastic racing between them. Here comes Chapman, outside line. He wants, he just needs someone to try and give him a bit of a push, just to get through on Brannon and Michelson. He can't quite do it on his lonesome. Ando trying to keep it wide, stay out of the drama as best he can, it seems. An incident here for Chapman could be deadly. Could be season ending if he drops a lap down from the race leaders. He cannot afford to end up behind them, and he cannot afford to end up off kilter from these guys either. Oh, Michelson battles away. It's Chapman, it's Michelson who's going to get the benefits. Brannon's right there to give Michelson some tow. But Anderson's right there to give Chapman the bump draft if he so desires. Lap 50 of 80 now, probably the longest green period we've had of the whole race. And it has been fantastic to see. We're going to take this time to take a very, very quick ad break before we get into the final 25 laps of this one. The action's going to continue. The battle's going to continue. How much longer can we go green before the caution is thrown? Only time will tell. Don't go anywhere. More IRWC Rod Not Cup action to come for round 9 here at Atlanta.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All 3 pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back at Echo Park in Atlanta, and we are under caution at the moment. I believe this here was the reason for it, because Ash DeVries is in pit lane. We saw him under that ab brake with the bonnet up in front of the windscreen. There was contact with the 39 as it got loose. There was a bit more into that action there as to why that contact has happened. The caution being thrown has probably helped the 39 in that pit stop there. We'll notice here, there was a little knock with the 916 as he comes down, gets loose, contact's made, gets the massive wiggle, and then bang, straight in the front of DeVries' car. Massive incident in this one. And DeVries is in pit lane. Anderson, luckily for him, is still on the lead lap of this race, as we'll be looking to go green with 25 laps to go. So we'll see who gets the benefits of this restart. Brandon, Michelson, Chapman and Anderson on the lead lap as we get in towards the restart zone. Green flag's about to fly, and we are underway once again here at Echo Park in Atlanta. As we go, green flag running. Brannon, Michelson on the front of the field. Anderson and Chapman left on the lead lap. Ferguson's up there battling away, but he's a lap down. 25 to go. Everyone has done their second pit stop of this race off of this caution. Michelson, the only one of the top four to take tyres. Will the grip advantage pay off for him as we run round turn 3? So who will reap the benefits of tonight's event? Who will reap the benefits of tonight's affair? Tomlin, who's back in P7, will be dropping quite a few points to Anderson and Chapman if they were to finish at the front of the field tonight. Of course, Anderson with some extra points for leading a lap earlier on. If he can finish up here in the top 3, this will pay massive dividends for him in his championship fight. Chapman needs some solid points here. Of course, he's equal on points with Anderson in the championship. Both of them 8 points back from Chop Tomlin in the championship race. As we come down the back stretch, there's some lap traffic in amongst us here, including the 21 car of Gus Ferguson. As Anderson takes back the race lead, gets the low line. Gets a bit of a bump draft here off the 6 car of Brannon, makes him get a little bit loose. But we continue on. 22 to go. Brannon and Michelson side by side. Continuing along, the 916 trying to get up in there as well. It's a wall between him though and P1 in Anderson. This is not helping his efforts here tonight. It's not helping his hopes and dreams either. As Michelson's just getting dragged back a little bit here. Lack of toe support is not helping keep him forward and ahead of that 916 car. But we've seen scenarios like this before where we'll have a race leader towards the end, we'll get a caution, and then we'll get an incident happening where all of a sudden they are completely out of it at the wrong time. If we do get a caution, McRoe will be the next driver to get a wave around by way of the lucky dog rule. He's only 1 lap down on the leaders. For Tomlin to get on the lead lap, he needs 3 more cautions, or for McRoe to drop behind him for position as Taskin gets out of the way of the leaders. 20 to go at Atlanta. It has been hotly contested stuff. Chapman is now on the heels of Anderson in the top 2 spots. Brannon's right in there too. It's an all Mustang, 1, 2, 3 at this stage. As the Camry and the Camaro, so the Camry and the SS of Tomlin and Michelson battle away in behind, not for position but for pride at this stage of proceedings. The laps are ticking down, the gaps are ticking down as well. The opportunity for those drivers behind them to get back onto the lead lap is withering away at this stage. Chapman is still hooked onto the back of Anderson's car. It's going to take a mighty effort for the 916 to get past the 39 here in this race and here in this championship, because right now he is losing points to the car that he is equal on points with in this championship. Brannon in the 6 car, hooked onto them as well. We saw him and the 916 make contact earlier in proceedings. Right now just hoping for a clean run throughout the rest of this race. 18 to go, 17 when we cross the line. Anderson is feeling the pressure from the Project 36 entry right on his heels as we cross the start-finish line. Lap 64 of 80, 17 to go of Atlanta. And there you can see Brannon. Tomlin gets out of their way. Brannon trying to get an outside line. Here comes Michelson, maybe just trying to push him forward. Get some benefits for them both to get past the 916. How can Chapman find a way through? Oh no, he's made a massive mistake. He's gotten out of the slipstream. That's let the 26 car pass. He now has to tuck right in behind him again. Maybe hope for the 6 car to push him forward. Michelson now wants to try and go for position over the 39 car in the race lead. Here comes Michelson, side by side with Ando. The 6 car's in there as well, and now Chapman has a choice. He has to choose to either push the monster car forward to keep them both in the top 2 spots, or he had to hope for Michelson to pull ahead of the 39 to keep on dragging them forward. Otherwise, they're both going to lose a position here to Brannon. This is crazy, crazy stuff. Oh, Smith's in there. He's a lap down. Don't make contact with the leaders, good sir. Let them by. Let them through. This is a race for the race lead, and it's a race for the championship as well. Anderson now just through on Michelson. 14 laps to go. Barely anything in it as they enter up towards turn 1. Pressure has been at an absolute maximum, and now it is the bump draft game. The 916 car trying to bump draft the race leader forward. The 6 car trying to bump draft the 39, and now some side drafting as well. Starting to come between them as the 6 car runs high and enters into the wall. That drops him back out of it. So now the battle between Anderson and Chapman is underway. It's all for the lead of the championship, and all for the benefits heading in towards the final round of the season. Carry some momentum with you. Carry the benefit of points with you as well. And try and carry yourself to a championship in the Rod Knock Cup. Michelson looks to be unsure who to give the draft to at this stage. Anderson's just trying to get a run. He can't quite get there. Maybe it can be some bump drafting here from the 6 car as Chapman hooks right onto the back of the race leader. It is intense stuff with 12 to go at Atlanta. Top 4 are separated by barely anything. Look at Anderson trying to split the gap. Into P2 he goes, right behind the 26. Goes on the low line now. Can he get the draft, the bump draft off the 6 car to push him into the lead? Michelson doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know where to cover from. He's getting some bump draft now from the 916. That's keeping him ahead as Chapman now finally gets past the 39 car of Anderson. 11 to go. Full intensity at this point of the race. Full intensity at this point of the season. And it is full course action. So which one of them can get the benefits? Anderson got a little bit of toe there from Michelson. That could help him. Bit of bump drafting as well from the 6 car. The margin of error is so tight. The margins are so tight with 10 laps to go. It is less than half a second that separates this top 4. And it is anyone's game for this race win. If we get a caution, it'll throw a massive spanner in the works. If it stays green, it's any one of them who could win it. As Michelson leads us round 3 and 4. 9 laps to go. Top 4 cars in contention for the race win. Top 4 cars in a line astern as well. You'll love to see it. This is some proper super speedway stuff as they continue to rocket round turn 1 and 2. Question now is, what can Anderson do to get by the Giraffe? What can he do to get past that Toyota Camry ahead of him? To get this race win and to get these maximum points on the board ahead of Chapman and Tomlin here tonight. He needs to try and maximize as best he can. Brannon and Chapman are battling away behind the 39 car. Brannon is now technically ahead of the 916, but the 916 is coming back at him again. 7 laps to go and we cross the line here in Atlanta. Michelson leads, Anderson P2, Brannon and Chapman the top 3, or top 4 at the moment. You could put a cigarette paper between them, they are that close. And it is as intense as ever. Michelson obviously on the freshest tyres of the lot. He came in on lap 53 with the other guys. He took tyres, they only took fuel. They got a couple extras. If there is a late break caution in this race, watch the front runners come in and take some tyres to get some advantage over the field. Remembering, all 4 of these guys are a lap ahead of the entire field at this stage of the race. They can afford to come in under the caution, they can afford to take the tyres, and they can afford to play the risky game. It'll be too much of a risk to stay out and hold track position. It'll be better for them to come in and take that fresh rubber. But with only 5 laps to go, time is ticking on the possibility of a caution being thrown, and time is ticking on the possibility of a strategic masterclass from anyone else. Chapman now on the midline. He's trying to find a way past the 6 car, but he can't quite get there. He's not getting pulled into a draft ahead of him because Anderson is bump drafting the 26 car away from that battle for P3. So the 916 cannot find any way past that 6 car. Anderson is using the bump draft to his advantage to build that gap out now to over half a second. And this has worked out so perfectly for him at this stage. 4 to go, nearly 3.5 to go as they catch the lap traffic of the lone shark Mark Howard and Ash DeVries battling ahead of them. These guys are battling for position as well. So this could turn into a 6-car battle pack where 2 cars are battling for position and the other 4 are battling for their own position in this race. It is hotly contested stuff here in Atlanta. 3 laps left Is the lap traffic going to have a part to play? Or is the strategy game going to be just try and sneak on past them and battle for the race win? Bit of 3-wide action further back as Brandon tries to split the gap. Oh, a little bit of a knock there to De Vries. They've kept it going though, nice and clean. 2 to go. Next lap by will be white flag. Michelson is leading the way at this stage. Here comes Brandon. Oh, there's contact with Chapman again, and Brandon goes into the wall this time. That could cost him heavily. That's probably cost him a podium now. Off the back of that incident. So now it's the top 3 who will battle away for the final lap of this race. White flag next time by here at Echo Park as they come up to the line. Final lap. We're not going into overtime. We are on the 80th lap of Atlanta, and the top 3 are separated by 0.2 of a second. Barely anything in it. Who can get the run to the line? Anderson is trying anything he can to get past the 26 car. The 916 wants to get past the 39. Anderson cannot afford to pull out here and try and get forward. Here comes Chapman. Outside run on the 39 car. He can't quite get there. It's a drag race to the line. Michelson takes the win. Chapman just gets there in P2 by barely a whisper. They finished to the 100th of a second. It was to the 1000th on the timing board as to how close they were together. Brandon in P4, McRow P5, De Vries, Howard, Tomlin, Smith, Ferguson, Taskin, and then Lawler at the back of the field. Literally to the 1000th. That has got to be the closest finish I have ever seen in an oval race before. That there was an incredible finish. Chapman just etching ahead of Anderson. Just etching ahead. Wow, wowee. What a race. What a race to the very end, all the way from the restart. Back on lap 55, we went 25 laps, green flag running to the very end. What a run home. What a race. Spectacular. Pure cinema, in fact. Let's have a quick chat to P3 on the road here tonight. Jack Anderson. Jack Oz. Just missing out there by what I could only describe as a 1,000th of a second to P2 to Kurt Chapman in what is possibly the closest finish we have ever seen in the series. Just missing out in the end. Only just missing out. You got some
it was good though.
It was great racing. I mean, 25 laps of green flag running, top 4 separated by less than half a second for the majority of it. Pure cinema to that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Michelson and I were trying to work together to get a little bit ahead, but no, Kurt, this side draft is so strong here, so I knew that I had to try and cover him off, but I didn't do it hard enough. But we'll get it next time. Hopefully I gained a little bit of points. I'm not sure if I led the most laps or if Michelson did. Or probably Michelson.
If you did lead the most, then you would have probably gained a point over Chapman. Right now you're equal because you led a lap. I don't think Chapman even led a lap the whole race, did he?
I'm not sure, but I also got pole, so that's an extra. But it was a tied. It was tied, so I don't know what the verdict is there. But yeah, it was a great race. I know that all the boys in the chat had fun. Shout out to Paul Taskin if he's still watching. Hopefully he's still awake.
He wasn't even watching at all, apparently. According to Gravy, he had gone to bed.
I'm just a little bit disappointed in that.
I know. So am I. Big deal.
Shout out. I also forgot. Sorry to shout out Grayson last week. If you're watching this week, that third place and podium is for you. So I'm hoping to come back strong next week and maybe finish off the season with a high.
Well, A fantastic performance for you tonight, Jackos. Solid points on the board as well. It's only big benefits for you heading into the final round. A poor night on the road for Tomlin means he drops points to you. Lawler, unfortunately, he's already used his drop round this season. That pretty much cuts him out of the race, and now it's a 3-horse run to the end of the championship between yourself, Chop, and Kurt. Out of the three of you, Daytona next week, anything can happen. How do you see it going out of the three of you next week?
3 wide into turn 1.
Best way to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's either way, whichever way the championship goes, it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited, and I'm excited for the next gens next season. It looks like we're going to have a strong field next season as well. So looking forward to that.
It's going to be fantastic for Season 2 in the next-gen cars. Jackos, congratulations. Massive performance tonight. P3, only by around about 1,000th of a second. So congrats on the efforts tonight, and best of luck next week at Daytona.
Thanks, Bubby. Happy birthday for yesterday.
Thanks, big dog. Next up on the road this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we have P2 by 1,000th of a second. It is Kurt Chapman. Kurt, I just mentioned the gap to the line. It was about 1,000th of a second there between yourself and Ando to that finish line. That was the closest finish we've ever seen. Literally on the timing tower and on my timing, it stops at hundredths. Then you were both 0.29 behind the race leader. It was basically a tie to the end. Tough race for you at the start. Managed to come back into it though. I know that Bailey was very apologetic for those incidents that happened at the race start, but you stayed in it, you stayed true, managed to fight your way forward. We're unsure whether this has given you the lead of the championship or not because of a couple of bonus points that Anderson would have earned himself tonight, but you're still well within the hunt. How are you feeling now going into Daytona next week where it's all on the line?
Well, if you asked me about 40 laps ago, I would say I'm, quite questionable. That's probably a really good word to describe how I was 40 laps ago, but now I am very happy, very excited. Next round's going to be a bit of a nail biter for everyone. I'd imagine we've closed the gap passed the gap to Chris as well. So it's going to make for quite an interesting and strategic race for the last race.
Well, there's going to be barely any points in it between the three of you. Unfortunately, David, this probably takes him out of the race for the championship tonight after that internet outage. It does mean, though, that he can now help support you next week at Daytona and maybe help push you forward to a race win, possibly a championship win as well. And realistically, next week at Tono, it's going to be a very similar style of races tonight. Big draft, heavy racing, trying to figure out which way to go and how you can best strategize around it. For you next week, what's your best case scenario aside from winning the title, obviously? Is it surviving long enough you can stay in the battle to the end? Or is it, if you get taken out early, you at least then are like, right, it's balls to the wall, let's go for it and let's see what happens?
Yeah, well, that second option was a bit of tonight. After having all those cautions and, facing the wrong way a few too many times, I just stuck it and left. But yeah, best case scenario, even if it doesn't win the title, I would love to win a race. That's the one thing I haven't done this season. Every time I get second, it's a new winner as well. So,
to be fair, Michelson's now a two-time winner.
Yeah,
but you had some good racing out there. Getting into it with everyone around you as well and just trying to race your way forward. I suppose next week, if you take your first win of the season, you're guaranteed to win your championship. So, that could play out for you. But bonus points would obviously have a part to play in that, and it will then obviously depend on the gaps in the leaderboard and how close everyone is together. But you'd have to argue if you won the race next week with some bonus points in there too, you could very well easily run away with the whole chocolate box. But Kurt, a phenomenal performance from you once again. P2 on the road tonight, a fantastic performance. Let us know who helps get you out on track from Project 36. Anyone else who may be watching and giving you support in the ranks of the chat. And for myself and the rest of the league, congrats on the success and best of luck next week for Daytona.
Thanks, mate. I'd like to give another shout out to David. Yeah, he had some internet issues and he's still having internet issues, but he managed to get Discord up on his phone and give me a couple of call outs, which was pretty helpful. I'd also like to thank all the companies that helped Project 36. That's Simrigs.com, Shockworks, Cataclysm Computers, CC Forged, and Outlier Speedco.
Well, Kurt, best of luck for next week in your championship charge. Best of luck in your preparations across the week forward as well. You get to put a full focus this week into it. There's no Porsche Cup in the way. It is straight focus on Daytona for next Friday night, where you will hope to become the first Rod Knott Cup champion. Best of luck out there. We look forward to seeing if you can lift the cup at the end of the season.
Sweet. I really hope I do lift the cup, but better not be too heavy.
It might be a coffee mug possibly there on that one there, Kurt,
If
knows?
it's made out of Lego, I won't be complaining.
Oh, let's go. All right, Kurt, best of luck and thanks so much for coming and have a chat.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. And next up we have our winner here this evening. 2 weeks in a row. In fact, he's gone to the race lead and then taken the victory. It is Jack Michelson. Hailing from the Sahara Desert is the Giraffe. And you rise to the top branch once again, Michelson, and you take a second win in a row. This time at Atlanta this week, after you win in Phoenix last week. That there was tough running to the end. 25 green laps. Top four separated by only half a second for the majority of the piece. How sweaty are you right now? And how much are you thankful that you haven't touched too much grass recently and that you've managed to fight your way forward and take a second race win in a row?
Yeah, first of all, hey Hamish. Good to be back in victory lane this week, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it was a bit of a crazy race. Like the first half, obviously there was a lot of cautions and it was all about just your restart and trying to get your best track position. Obviously had a big wreck there to get through early unscathed. There was one that I didn't and had to pit, but kind of opened my strategy up a bit. And then from then on, when we were running green flag, and we almost had green flag stops, which would have been really good for the race. But yeah, crazy race, good finish. And yeah, the side draft is probably the biggest tool around here to try and race people and make passes. So it was definitely interesting.
You know, tough tactics obviously here at Atlanta. Probably be similar tactics next week at Daytona. You know, obviously super speedway, high speed, full force on the throttle. What do you think the biggest differences are going to be between Atlanta this week and Daytona next week, and how the cars are and the drivers are going to have to approach their battle packs next week when they get into these, you know, obviously tight battles similar to tonight to the race lead? What's the differences going to be, and how can the field maybe best approach them next week to try and get us some really good green flag running like we had to the end of this one?
Yeah, so once again, the side draft's going to be your biggest tool on these fast races. So in terms of what the field can do, like tonight there was a lot of unnecessary kind of just side drafting because you can and not using it as like a strategic tool. I know there was one instance, but I was actually stuck behind a lap car that was doing it and had to make a pretty gutsy move, I suppose, to try and stay in the race. Otherwise, I would have dropped out of a draft. It would have been game over. So, yeah, I would say using the side draft strategically is probably the biggest thing. And if you're sitting next to someone for 10 laps, there's going to be a high chance of actually wrecking. And if you're doing it just because, yeah, there's not really anything to gain. So, yeah, just timing of your runs and, yeah, biggest thing, staying out of trouble.
Well, sometimes staying out of trouble is one of the hardest things to do. So that's going to be one for drivers to keep in the back of their minds. But, Jacko, I mean, you haven't got a hand in the championship, you know, at this stage of the season, but it's another top-level points haul for you. Let us know who helps you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout-out to for myself and the rest of the league. Congratulations on your second win of the season and your second win in a row here at Atlanta. And let's see if you can make it 3 in a row next week out at Daytona.
Fingers crossed, that'd be a good way to round it out. So, first of all, thank you to Jacko and all the team at iRacing World Challenge for putting on the league, everyone that supports it and comes and races with us, to yourself with the broadcast, and yeah, everyone watching along. So, thank you, and hope to see you all next week.
Well, Jacko, best of luck for Daytona next week. Looking forward to see if you can go 3 in a row and looking forward to seeing how this championship ends out with those contenders, and maybe if there's a little bit of a spanner to be thrown in the works, it could come from your toolbox, but maybe not the 10 mil because you probably need that.
Yeah, I need them, and I look for that enough at work anyway. So
All right, thanks so much, Jacko. Best of luck next time.
take it easy, mate.
No worries, you too. Well, that will bring an end to our broadcast here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. With only one round to go, it is now a 3-horse race in this championship challenge. And the championship finale next week at Daytona is going to be a big one, as Jack Anderson, Kurt Chapman, and Chris Tomlin battle away for a championship here in the Rod Knock Cup. 3 different drivers from 3 different teams in technically 2 different car types. So it's going to be a mammoth one next time out. But I'm in Hamish Munro. A big shout out to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, VRS for the Porsche Cup Series on Monday nights, as well as SPP Graphics if you want to get your bike looking as sexy as possible before you cover it in dirt or inevitably hit a tree. Send Johnny a message over on Facebook at SPP Graphics and he'll get you guys sorted. Direct link is in the stream description. Worst time for my voice to go. Worst time. Shout out as well to us here at Infinity Broadcasting. If you want to support us as broadcasters in the series that we do broadcast, hit the like button, subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on the channel. It's Blackheart Designs. If you want to get yourself looking as sexy as possible in the sim world here on iRacing, send myself, Hamish Munro, a message over on Discord. We'll get you sorted and looking as sexy as possible. You can message me on Discord or Instagram at HM_injection. That's at HM_INJEXION. And we'll get you sorted with either your broadcasting needs or your livery needs as well. But until next time we'll be here on the channel. It'll be tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for round 9 of season 24 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans for the Split 2 action out at Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli, myself and Brett Fisher in the booth for that one. But until then, thanks so much for joining us here on Infinity Broadcasting. We'll see you guys next time. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.